Well, can't say I didn't call it. The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes released on Friday and predictably bombed at the box office. A few weeks ago, I did a video on this about how Rachel Zegler has been tanking these franchises because she is the catalyst for a lot of reasons why this movie in particular bombed, and why the Snow White remake will inevitably bomb. God, that's a hard word to say quickly. When it eventually releases in 2025, because, yeah, if you didn't know, that got delayed pretty much an entire year, and so did their Pixar movie, Elio, which also looks like hot garbage. But I'm gonna get into this movie. I have not seen this movie yet, so I'm not gonna be talking about the quality of the movie. I will say it doesn't look very good. I've never really been that into the Hunger Games movies. I like this. The first one is okay, the second one's pretty decent, and the Mockingjay movies are total trash. But, so yeah, I'm not that deep into this franchise. I've read the books too, and they're fine. But this one just didn't look that enticing. Hell, this book didn't look enticing either, so I didn't read it. Even though my sister has a copy, I could have easily read it, but I didn't want to. So that tells you all you need to know. And this movie just doesn't look very enticing, but I'm gonna have to see it eventually, but I have not seen it yet. In fact, I'm reviewing Disney's Wish right after this, so I saw that in advance. They had some early screenings, so I got to see it. So yeah, that'll probably be coming later today. But I'm going to talk about this. Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes made $44.6 million in its opening weekend, which is even worse than what the Marvels brought in last week, which was roughly around $46 million, which is not very good. Now, this movie has, like, half the budget of the Marvels, if even. I don't even think it's that high. But $44.6 million is still not going to get you a profit. And that's it. Although I will say I'm surprised it did make number one, considering it did have competition from movies like Trolls Band Together, which made about $30 million, and I already did a review on that, and it wasn't very good. Then it had Thanksgiving, the horror movie about the dude dressed up as the Pilgrim. I think that's what the plot is, I don't really know, which made about $10.3 million. In fourth place was The Marvels at 10.1, and yeah, I know that had a big drop-off, apparently even bigger than Morbius, and that's pretty bad, and I didn't particularly care for that movie, so I'm just not really going to talk about it, because I just don't care. That movie, a lot of superhero movies this year, like that one, Blue Beetle, Shazam, have been pretty apathetic, so I don't really care about getting into that. And then in fifth place was Five Nights at Freddy's, which is still holding strong in the top 5, which shouldn't be a surprise considering it's a video game adaptation, and it's apparently pretty good. Again, I haven't seen it yet, because I've been seeing other stuff, I've been doing other videos, so I haven't gotten to it. But, and again, I've seen people make excuses for this movie, and one of them is pretty valid, that again, I mentioned this in my last video, that the young adult craze kind of died out quite a while ago. And there have been attempts to make young adult films recently. Artemis Fowl comes to mind, but they haven't been profitable in about 5 or 6 years. I said in the last one, I think the last successful one was Maze Runner: The Death Cure, and that was January of 2018. That's the last time we had a successful YA film. Now, there have, of course, been adaptations of other books that have been pretty successful. Pretty much any movie nowadays is based on book, but they weren't in the young adult fiction genre, per se. So, this is just funny to me because Rachel Zegler continues to tank franchises. The West Side Story remake was a disaster at the box office. And again, you can't blame COVID for that because Spider-Man No Way Home made $2 billion and came out just a week later, so that excuse doesn't work. Then Shazam! Fury of the Gods came out, and that was also a colossal bomb. And yes, you can blame that one on James Gunn for announcing the new DCU like 2 weeks before the movie's release, or maybe it was 2 months or something like that, very close to the movie's release, and the marketing just kind of being very apathetic about the movie. You can make those excuses, and those are pretty valid, but I just think it's funny how conveniently every movie she's been in has tanked at the box office, and this one, I'll give it credit, it's been more successful than the first two already. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, I think it made about $30 million in its opening weekend, if even. And West Side Story, I think, made about $37 million in its entire domestic run. So, it's her most successful film so far, though I'm pretty sure it's just riding the coattails of the Hunger Games name, so there you go. And Snow White will be a colossal failure, and I look forward to that movie failing. I don't look forward to watching it, hell no, I don't want to watch that movie, but I'm going to be forced to. But I will look forward to seeing that movie lose money and Disney run around like a chicken on drugs. So that's all I got for this, and I will see you all next time. Bye.